So why did we select Ericsson? We really started by going to the three major global providers of these types of services. And these are managed, when we say managed services, these are services provided to telephone operators like ourselves. So these are to the Vodafones and the Hutchisons and those kinds of companies worldwide. And what we found in Ericsson is that they really took this and don't treat it as a project, but they treat it as a product. They operationalize it, they standardize it, they scale it, they create the tools. They've done this successfully in over 100 places around the world in operations like ours, primarily in Europe and also in really kind of the Pacific Rim, if you will, of Asia, and a little bit in Brazil and South America. So they've proven this to us, and we've talked to the people that are the customers of Ericsson and have tested this to be a very mature process that they really have operationalized and standardized around. We spent a lot of time visiting companies like ours, 3 in England. We talked to the 3 operation in Italy, Danish companies, telecom companies in Poland, all of which were customers of Ericsson, and asked them, are you satisfied? What do you expect? How does this work? Kick the tires on it with them, and in all cases, they were very satisfied with the performance of Ericsson. The employees were delighted to be, once they were in the Ericsson culture, were very delighted to be over there, were very customer focused, and so it was a resounding success across the board with everyone we talked to that had used Ericsson as a supplier of these services. One of the things we found and we valued very heavily is the transparency of how this is going to operate, the financials behind it. They told us everything that we needed to know, showed us things that we can't disclose because it was material that was highly sensitive for them, but we wanted to see it to really understand, how do you genuinely do this? Because the common question that gets asked is, why can't you do this yourself? You're going to have to pay somebody who's got to make a margin on it. How can this work? So we needed to understand that. Ericsson essentially was a total open book to us. We appreciated that. We thought that was important as we had a recurring long-term relationship with a partner that they needed to have that type of an approach with a client like us. And the last thing was we did need to feel that whatever company we were going to contract with was creating an environment where employees are valued, they were energized, that they lived with a service ethic. And as we talked to employees that previously worked for an operator and got rebadged over to Ericsson, there was a resounding yes around all of that. It was very interesting. It was almost palatable, and yet it was very intangible that as employees joined the Ericsson team and provided managed services back to their old company, what was fascinating is that they really felt very proud of the work they did. They knew they were the product. They were the profit center for Ericsson. And that really translated itself to a high degree of confidence, a high degree of ownership on the quality of the networks that they were maintaining and the like. So it really, we really did see in all over the operation very positive elements that we thought would make this a very sustainable operation.